This is one that I see all the time. It's people working out in this quote unquote gray zone. They're not doing a lot of that kind of VO2 max capacity training like we just talked about with more of the higher effort intervals. And they're doing maybe not as much as the kind of longer distance aerobic work that they're trying to train for, the adaptation they're trying to build with getting ready for marathon. So this is, you can think of this as a moderately hard pace. It's kind of a Goldilocks just right. It's not too hard, not too easy. It's, people getting out there and going for a run because a certain amount of mileage is in their program, but they're just aimlessly doing it at a pace that they feel like they ought to be going at. So it's done with little intention, right? So I guess this mistake you can also kind of group into unintentional running as well. But I'm calling it the gray zone because it's kind of in the middle. It's not serving a specific purpose within the program itself. So have intention when you're doing your runs and executing your program. So let's talk about some research, shall we? Seiler in 2010 talked about different models with training, with an endurance training. So what they found is elite endurance athletes often perform 80% of training at low intensity and 20% at high intensity, and very little in the moderate. So how might we fix this issue? So you can kind of distinguish between the two intensities clearly by actually incorporating the zone 2 aerobic base work, as well as some threshold intervals, and you can think of it as zone 3, as well as layering in some zone 4 and 5 work with VO2 specific training, like those anaerobic intervals we talked about that are really high intensity, high output, where you're working hard. So again, there's all these components, right? And a good program will layer these appropriately throughout and progress accordingly. Which, if you are interested in what I consider a good program, check out kingdomstrengthinstitute.com for the marathon program that just recently launched a couple weeks ago. Find it there on the website if you're interested.